You know, the one thing they don't tell you about living in the post-apocalypse with your cats is the sheer amount of cat shit you have to shovel. And you may be wondering, what do you mean, the sheer amount of cat shit you have to shovel? Well, let me explain. As a human stuck taking care of a massive cat colony, all of which are domesticated, eventually cat litter runs out. So let me explain to you guys some pretty viable alternatives if you can't seem to be lucky enough to find an old Walmart or Pet Quarters or any other pet shop, or really any shop at all that sells cat litter. Wood, specifically wood shavings, can make a semi-okay alternative for cat litter. Or if you're lucky, another thing you can use are wood pellets if you're lucky enough to have them, but that's a bad idea because those can make pretty good fuel, like a pretty good fuel source. So if all else fails, just dig a little bit of sand from your yard, or dig some sand from the local gravel pit. I mean, who's gonna stop you? It's not like there's any construction workers in the apocalypse. It's just you, a shovel, and whatever morals you have left, assuming you aren't fighting with your neighbor over a can of peaches. Well, that's all for today's survival tips. If you want to see more, just let me know. I got a whole bunch more survival tips. And this is your Steve Johnson out. I love you guys. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Welcome back to another episode of Post-Apocalypse Tips with your host, Steve Johnson. Now I've been living in this post-apocalyptic world for about 7 years now. And I know I'm just kind of screaming into the void, talking into this here camera. But my buddy Glenn Robertson said, "Hey man, sometimes you need to just scream into a camera and leave tips for whoever finds them." And I said, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And he said, "Just do it, asshole." So I said, "Fine. But I'd rather be out hunting for possums. Too damn bad." So here we are. Are you hungry for meat and you're hoping for the best, but all you can find are some old cans of cat food that are starting to rust out? Well, can't use them. The more rusty the can is, the worse things are. If you see a rusty can, you do not eat from it because one of two things has likely happened. One, there's likely a very small breach in the can that you can't see but is causing oxidization, and likely there's a lot of metal particulates slowly entering the food, contaminating it. Don't eat that. If you see a can that's rusty, another possibility is that it was in an environment where there's been mice who have been urinating on it, causing rust, ruining the can, as well as what's inside it. Don't eat them. Instead, sometimes you may have to raise some animals, as distasteful as this sounds, to get yourself some meat. For instance, come here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Yeah, for instance, this little buddy right here. Now, she ain't got much meat on her bones, I know. But, you know, it's the post-apocalypse. Sometimes you gotta raise one of these bad boys, and to get a whole bunch of meat on their bones, so that way you got a good meal. And I know, that sounds pretty cruel. I mean, just because it's the end of the world doesn't mean we have to become uncivilized and start eating our domesticated animals, but, well, it's one of those things. Eat or starve. And you can only eat so many dandelions off your property, or forage so much crap from nature, before you start getting depressed and just want a little bit of meat. And, well, little Miss Fluffy right here, she makes some good eats if you're desperate. Now, personally, she ain't got enough meat on her bones, so she's saved. But I got one cat that's pushing 20 pounds. And let me tell you, that's some pretty good meat. So if you're hungry, you're starving, don't be afraid. Just give the cat one last good day and, well, bang! There's your meal. make sure to properly butcher them. Now, I'm not going to give you butchering tips. There's plenty of butchering books out there. I know Pot Knight Steve has posted plenty of stuff out there. Hell, I was just coming across a trading post ran by my buddy Jeremiah Jebson, and there was a whole bunch of different survival videos. Don't be afraid to seek out your local trading post, but make sure to avoid Tennessee. That place is filled with cannibal colonies. But that's enough for this video. I, Steve Johnson, will see you guys next time. I hope. Love you guys. Are you living in the post-apocalypse and you've come across a phone which has no passcode but has all sorts of recipes on it? Well, bring it on down to your local trading post. I am Jeremiah Jebson. Now I know, I kinda look like Steve Johnson. He's my brother, even if he won't admit to it. But again, let me just explain why bringing phones and all that stuff to your trading posts are a good idea. If you find a working one, just like this example right here. Now this one has a passcode, which while it is a pain in the ass, like these can be bypassed pretty easy. But you see this? All sorts of different apps on there. And you go into your pictures here, and let's see what you got. Oh, that's some nudies. I must have accidentally grabbed the wrong phone. But, well, some phones happen to have some pretty cool stuff, such as recipes, foraging guides, comics, and other things. And, well, if you're like me, and you run a trading post, one of the things you can do is you can actually print out these things if you come to the trading post, and they'll become part of the trading repertoire. To see what we here at Jeremiah Jebson's Trading Post do is we get the comics, we get the books, we get the recipes, we get the foraging guides, we get woodcraft and all that stuff. And you know what we do? We print the stuff out, put it in circulation, bind them, get the hardcovers, and we sell them. Our current newest seller is an embroidery guide of all things. And I know what you're thinking. Are you really telling me you, Jeremiah Jebson, are selling embroidery guides? But don't underestimate embroidery. If you can embroider, you can probably patch up someone's wound with your needle and thread. Now I know that's not even close to the same realm of expertise, but it requires the same kind of dexterity and hand-eye coordination. So maybe you should buy yourself an embroidery guide and get our included Nurse's Handbook. See you guys soon. I'm going to give this back to Steve Johnson. I love my brother. Well, hello again. I am Jeremiah Jebson. Welcome back to our post-apocalyptic trading post video. Now this one is a promotion on clothing. Now if you live in one of these many post-apocalypse dwellings, and you're not a filthy, disease-bearing cannibal who should be put down like the filthy animal you are, you need clothing. You need to cover your ass, you need to cover your man boobies, and you even need to cover your feet. And if there's no stores near you to loot, sometimes you need to hit up a trading post. Now we sell some fine socks, such as this. Check out this material. It seems soft, but it's pretty durable. And if you don't like this design, it's reversible to a pretty nice looking design. Hell, we even have some other socks that are pretty nice looking like this. Now these aren't as durable, as you can tell by the hole in the socks, but for whatever reason these fuzzy socks are pretty damn common. As are, for whatever reason, shirts like the one I'm wearing for this video. And even shirts such as this lovely piece right here. Now this is a Tweety shirt. Now I have no idea what in Sam Hill a Tweety is, but for some reason the ladies really love it. So I have like 300 some odd of those shirts in stock, because there are so many of them in some of the ruins of stores. Like I found a thrift shop and it was filled with all sorts of Tweety Bird and Sylvester memorabilia. Now currently all I have on hand is Tweety stock, because for whatever reason, ladies, kids, And the occasional raider gang really likes Tweety. Hell, I just got in a gunfight the other day because this one raider gang, the screaming opossums, really wanted some damn Tweety merch. And I was like, hell no, brother, you gotta pay. You either give us some bullets, or you give us some damn food. And you'll get all the Tweety shirts you want. And the only reason I'm charging you that instead of the standard tokens is because you came at me and you shoved your damn shotgun right in my face. Granted, you backed off when you realized how many of my patrons were aiming guns at you. But still, man, you ain't getting no damn Tweety merch without paying one hell of a tax. And, well, they took exception to that and started firing. And because of that, we now have 5 new rifles in stock. Now I'm not going to show you any of those, but I'm going to show you some of the other weaponry we have in stock. Now, are you stuck in a post-apocalypse dwelling and you can't afford guns because ammo is a bitch to make and you can't really afford that kind of time investment? Well, then get this little number right here. I've got 500 of these things because me and my gang just raided a natural history museum and found some blacksmithing books. And a lot of us are recreating weapons like these with nice handles and pretty good friggin' material such as this, man. Now I got no idea what in the hell this mace thing was used for, but let me tell you, it's pretty good for bashing heads in. There was this one strange mutated bear squirrel thing, and I gave this to Earl, and he was like, oh, hell yeah, brother, I love me a mace. And he was like, ooh, one hit, and that sumbitch are taken care of. Come get yours today. These things are selling like hotcakes. We got 50 of these bad boys. And let me tell you, each and every single one of these was well worth it. If you need to bash in skulls, come to Jeremiah Jepson's trading post. These only cost some dandelions. If you got the dandelions, we'll make you some food and get you your damn mace. And then the rest of this will go into feeding the community. If you're not a filthy raider or a filthy cannibal, it's all yours. Love you guys. See you soon. Hello again. Jeremiah Jepson here. Not sure where Steve went. I hope he's alright. But today, I'm gonna sell you, or hopefully sell you anyways, some dang bedding. Do you like pillows? Well, these we've got in stock. Do you have some coins? But get yourself some pillows. Because let me tell you, these things right here are real comfortable. Let me show you. This right here is the life. Sitting back, relaxing, reclining, and you got yourself a nice pillow. Now sure, this house is kind of bombed out. Had to rebuild some of the walls. I mean, you can even see some of the remnants of the ash on the walls. And the tape from where we had to do a quick patch job when we ran out of mortar. But, you know, it is what it is. But this pillow right here, pretty nice. We even have some memory foam pillows, such as this one. Now this one is kind of soft, a little bit firm, but oh so comfortable. Now this right here will cost you about a quarter ounce of gold. Actually, no, that's not fair. Probably an ounce of gold, because trying to actually measure out that is a little harsh. But if you can get yourself an ounce of gold or silver, you can get this. And I'll even throw you in this pillow, or blanket I mean, right here. Act now, and I'll even give you this here firm pillow. Also comfortable. Just check this out. Luxurious. Get yourself some bedding today. And if that doesn't catch your fancy, how about one of these here pairs of underwear? Do you need to cover your ass and you've gone through your last pair of shorts? Get some of these. Because these things are very, very comfortable. Now you may be wondering, hey, why do you, Steve Stevenson, and whoever else can record from this room instead of going out. And let me tell you, I kind of made up those people because I am incredibly lonely, and it's been hundreds of days since I've had any human contact, and I am so fucking desperate and lonely, and I just want the comfort of human contact, even if it's just a hug. Please come to Jeremiah Simpson's trading post. I'm just so lonely. No. Oh my. Is that a kitty cat? Oh, I missed you so much. Why can't you talk? I'm so sorry you had to see me like this, guys. Hello, Steve Johnson here. I'm sorry you had to witness the mental breakdown of my brother Jeremiah Jebsen. I hope that didn't make things a little hard for you to watch. Please, come down to the trading post. We'll even let you pet our domesticated animals. We've got cats, a dog, and an army of opossums and raccoons who we're slowly teaching to play musical instruments. I've got a bluegrass band. Granted, it doesn't help that the grass is turned blue due to the environmental effects of firing off nukes, but hey, you know what? Things could be worse. It was a surface-to-air detonation, so even though a fuckload of people died, at least it wasn't massively irradiated. But you know what? They're all still dead, so it doesn't matter. I'm so lonely. Why is Tennessee filled with cannibals? See you soon! Wow, John, this is a very fascinating case that you have brought to me. You're telling me that man believes he is two different men in a post-apocalypse scenario, one of which believes he runs a trading post, and the other of which believes he is his brother, but they both believe this is a nuclear apocalypse? Shit, clear my schedule. I want to interview these men, and possibly even one day break these guys out of their delusion. Or really, this guy. I wonder what caused him to fracture and believe such a thing. Was it too many hours of doomsday preppers? I mean, who knows? I still can't believe he gave me his pair of prescription glasses, I mean. Why would he give up his pair of glasses? That's so fascinating. Huh. Wonder what'll happen if I put these glasses on. He seems to believe they're cursed. This guy was blind. I wouldn't have let this guy behind the wheel of a car. Or behind the steering wheel of a car, much less in public. I wonder where his cane is. Or does he believe that is no longer required because everyone is dead of a nuclear strike that was surface to air? Ugh. Janice. Yeah, boss. Cancel all my incoming appointments for the rest of the week. I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Yeah, no problem, boss. Alright. I hope one day these men can be rehabilitated and reintroduced to normal society. Until that day comes, well, who knows? Why did I put these back on? I'm gonna have such a massive migraine. Man. VR plus Doomsday Preppers, not even one.